The American dream. Is the American dream still alive today? Is the American dream dead? I think the American dream is very much so alive. And honestly, I think it's easier to achieve today than what it was back then. And by back then, I mean 100, 200 years ago. A lot of rules have changed. A lot of laws have changed. A lot of things have been put into place. What is keeping you from catching the American dream is literally paperwork and education. And I don't mean going back to school. I just really mean paperwork and education. Business, stocks, real estate. That's the new American dream. The new American dream really looks like freedom, honestly. It looks like being a digital nomad, able to freely move around the country and have no ownership. But I realize that's not ideal for everybody. So you got to first figure out, what is your American dream? Is it to be a homeowner? Is it to be a business owner? Is it to have $1 million in the bank? Is it to have freedom? Is it to be able to drive around drive around the country in a brand new truck and a camper? You got to figure out what the American dream is for you, because otherwise you're just aimlessly going nowhere, chasing nothing. You're spinning your wheels, going round and round, getting absolutely nowhere. There has to be a final destination. What is the end game? Where are we going? You got all these people and all these kids screaming and hollering about, not being able to do this and do that, but they don't even know what the hell they want to do. So what does the American dream look like for you? What is the American dream to you? You trying to own a gas station? You trying to own a bowling alley? You trying to own a bar or a restaurant? Then get it. It's very much so obtainable today, even more so today than it was back then. Imagine being 200 years ago and you having the biggest concerns of your life would have been, good Lord, so many. Food, heating your home. Imagine going out to chop the wood in 6 inches, 8 inches of snow with nothing but potatoes in your stomach from last night or something like that. Nothing but a piece of bread. You got a McDonald's on every corner. You have a Texas Roadhouse everywhere you go within 5 to 10 miles. There's a liquor store everywhere you look. There's a gas station almost on every street corner. You got drugs and alcohol all over the place. And you scream and holler that your life is so bad. No, your life is not bad. Your life is not bad. Warren Buffett said most people live better than J.D. Rockefeller did in his time. Even though he was the richest man in the world, today, most people live better than J.D. Rockefeller. And the reason he said that, because I know there's some old twat out there that's going to belly up and he's going to hoop, holler, scream, and cry. But the reason he said that most people today live better than J.D. Rockefeller, the man had no heat. Even though he had a mansion, he had no heat, no central heat and air. He had no electricity until it came around. He spent most of his life in a very primitive caveman state. Even though he was very wealthy, he spent most of his life very primitive. Today, all you do is flip on a light switch. Today, you got freaking heat. Mine just kicked on. You got central heat and air. Most of you do. You got running water in your home. Guys, your life, you're already in the American dream. You're already in it. The things 100 years ago, people wished to be able to use the bathroom, but instead they had to go trudge through sleet and snow to get to the outhouse just to be able to use the bathroom. And now you got one 10 feet from your bed. You're living in the American dream. So listen to me. When you break it down, let's flatline everything. We're already in the American dream. We're living in it right now. But how do we individually get ours? First and foremost, we stop consuming everything that they throw in our face. You need to stop going to McDonald's and the gas station twice a day. Take accountability, assess your situation. How many of you are spending $20, $30 a day at the gas station and McDonald's? You're sitting there and you're consuming everything that they put in front of you. Weed, drugs, alcohol, everything they throw in front of you. And then you wake up broke and you start screaming and hollering that the white man's keeping you down, that the government won't let you have nothing, blah, 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 all that bullshit. But in reality, it's your own fault. You consume everything they put in front of you. You get, as soon as you get paid, you take it straight to the liquor store. You take it straight to Walmart. And you give it away. You give it away. Some of you are ate up with payday loans and car notes, and you try to impress people that don't give a shit about you. Think about everybody in your life that has died. Seriously, think about all the people you know that are already dead. How often do you think about them? And let's say were your mother, your father, your grandparents, somebody real impactful in your life, you hardly ever think about that dead person. You hardly ever think about it. Why? Because you have so much going on right here in real life. You don't have time to worry and ponder about the dead. So you're out here buying shit, hoping to impress people, buying cars you can't afford. It's tax season. I guarantee you somebody's going to go out and dump their entire taxes on a brand new truck, a brand new car that they can't afford the maintenance, they can't afford to maintain. They're going to go broke, and then they're going to scream and holler. The car is going to get repoed, and they're going to scream and holler that the American dream is dead. They're going to scream and holler that the government won't let them have nothing, that the white man's keeping them down. All that bullshit. But in reality, it's you. It's your fault. You're the one consuming and buying everything they throw in front of your freaking face. That's why I tell people you need to get cash heavy. There needs to be a period of your life that you do absolutely nothing but work and sacrifice your time, your energy. You do absolutely nothing but sacrifice that. You sacrifice all your time and dedicate it to work and saving money. Pay off the debts and save money, and you will be in a great position. Once you do that, once you get yourself debt free and you stack enough cash, you build an emergency fund, you will be so selective on who you hang around and what you buy. You will be selective as hell on who you hang around and what you spend your money on. You will walk into a store and you'll be like, nah, man, that thing's $1,000. I'm not buying that. You'll walk somewhere, you'll see a car, you'll be like, $10,000. I worked 6 months to save $10,000. I'm not buying that. I'd rather ride a bicycle. I swear to you, with all the money that I got, I would rather go ride a damn bicycle before I spent it on some dumb shit, because I know how hard it was to accumulate. That's the name of the game, guys. Stack enough money to change your life. You stack enough money to start flipping money and making money work for you. That's the name of the game. Pay your taxes on it and keep going. It's that simple. Yeah, I know there's some twat in the comments going to say, oh, the inflation's going to eat that cash up. No, guys, you got to break the debt cycle somewhere. You got to break it somewhere. It's got to get broke somewhere. I don't think some of you understand. It has to get broke somewhere. It just has to be that way. But for people to sit around hooping, hollering, and screaming that the freaking American dream is dead, the American dream is very much so alive. You're just not willing to work for it. You want it to be given to you. And you can sit there and say, I've been working so hard. Have you? What type of work have you been doing so hard? Just because you've been out there physically laboring, pushing a wheelbarrow, digging ditches, clocking in, clocking out, just because you've been doing that does not consist of hard work. That's not hard work. That's your job. That's what you signed up to do. Hard work is what you do in the dark when nobody's watching. That's the hard work. Hard work is what you do in the dark. Hard work is waking up at 4 a.m. to work out, eating healthy, eating clean, reading, doing what you need to do, and then clocking in at your job at 8 a.m. That's hard work. Just going and pushing a wheelbarrow, building a fence, whatever the hell you're doing, building a home, clocking in, clocking out at the hospital, whatever it is, that's not hard work. That's your job. Hard work is everything you do outside of employment. The American dream is very much so still alive. You can go buy, right now, you can buy a gas station. You can buy rental property. You can go buy cars to resell. You can do whatever you want to do. You just got to put yourself in a position to be able to do it. But most people don't have it. Most people can't even stomach getting themselves in the right position. They just rather sit around bitching, whining, and crying. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Anybody that's accumulated any form of little bit of wealth for themselves, they know I'm telling the truth. Anybody that's got perfect credit, that's debt free, that's, making whatever, 65, 85, $105,000 a year with debt free, I'm telling the truth. The American dream is very much so alive. Nobody wants to work for it. They want it to be given to them. They want it to be given to them. If you're young right now watching this, stay out of debt. Stay out of consumer debt. Stay out of negative debt. That's your car loans. That's your payday loans. That's loans from the bank. That's any of that shit. Stay out of it. Stay away from the rent-a-center. Stay away from shit like that. Stay away from it and start stacking cash. And you stack cash to make a future investment, to make a proper investment to change your life. That's why you stack cash. The bigger investment, the bigger goal that you have, the more cash you are going to need. How many times have each and every one of you seen a freaking opportunity out there and you're like, man, only if I had some money, I'd buy that gas station. Only if I had some money, I'd buy that restaurant, or I'd buy that food truck, or I'd buy that house or that land. Well, the opportunity is going to represent itself at some time. Opportunities pop up almost every day, weekly. Each and every one of you know it. You're just not in a position to buy it. You're not in a position to have it. Opportunities constantly present themselves. You need to make sure you're in the proper position to execute when you see it. There is constant windows of opportunity, but you have no income, you have no cash, you have no credit. You've studied nothing, you've done nothing but sit back and wallow in guilt and complain about how life's unfair. Start putting yourself in a proper position. Proper positioning is not always cash. It's not always money. Sometimes it's just self-help, personal development, and studying. Sometimes you just need to sit down and study business, stocks, and real estate. So maybe you go to work, you save as much as you can, you stack as much cash as you can, you pay off as much debt as you can, you build your credit, but you need to be working in the dark on your mind. You need to become the type of person that can develop, or that is worthy of having the types of money or the type of American dream that you want. You can't handle it. This is why movie stars and actors, and this is why freaking musicians and all these people, they find themselves consuming way too much drugs and they end up self-deleting. They end up dying from overdose because they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the pressure. You can't handle it. The universe is not going to reward you with it. And sometimes the universe has a glitch. It has a glitch in the matrix, and you get lucky and you end up hitting a scratch-off ticket. Why do you think lottery winners go broke? You get lucky, you end up hitting a freaking scratch off and you win 100 grand or you win $1 million, and then you got nothing to show for it in 6 months because you weren't ready for it. So the universe had a glitch. You were the one that caught it and you weren't prepared. You were not prepared for it at all. And there you go. And you messed it completely up. I've seen it happen in real life. I've worked with a guy at the post office, man, that hit the lottery for 150 grand and then freaking quit his job that day. Understandable, quit his job that day and then turned around. It was less than 2 years. It was a year later, year and a half later, and he was right back applying again, trying to get his job back because he blew through all the money. He didn't make any proper investments. Worked with another guy that got 100 grand, and I told him what to do with it. What'd he do? He went and paid off his debt. Now he's back working again, broke again. Plenty of things you can do when the universe gives you an opportunity, guys, but you weren't prepared for it. You need to start preparing now. Business, stocks, real estate, studying all these things, learning all these things. Business to make the money, stocks to grow the money, real estate to hold the money. You need to learn these things. The universe is not going to reward you. It's not going to hit you with millions of dollars just so you can lose it. The government, as soon as you end up getting a few $1,000,000, the government's up your ass. IRS's taxes are coming for you. You got to learn to play the game. You got to learn the rules of the game. But you sit back and all these kids and all these people screaming that the American dream is dead and the white man keeping them down and the government never let them have nothing. They ain't never going to let a brother have nothing. I done heard all that bullshit. I done heard all of it. I don't want to be around people like that. The American dream is very much so alive and well, but honestly, you're probably a hateful person. You know how many people I've seen that are real life, just hateful people, and all they do is sit around bitching and complaining about nothing going their way? Sitting around bitching and complaining about nothing going their way, but then again, they do nothing to put themselves in a proper position to have things go their way. It's easy to sit on the porch and complain and drink and smoke and waste your life. Stop wasting your time, guys. The American dream is very much so alive and well. You just got to work for it. You just got to work for it. You're going to have to start self-educating. You're going to have to do some personal development. We live in a very attention-seeking society. We live in a very noisy world. You are going to have to step out in front of the masses and make some freaking noise. It's just what you're going to have to do. If you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, you are going to have to step out and start making noise. Can't be any more clear than that. You guys have a good day, all right?